So we've got this material you sent in about Whiplash Associated Disorder, WD, from car accidents.
Right. There's a lot out there, isn't there?
There really is. It's
Yeah.
easy to get swamped. So today, we want to cut through that noise, get to the essentials. How's it assessed? What's the recovery look like?
And crucially, what actually helps you get better?
Exactly. And maybe what doesn't help too.
Yeah, that's important. And it's incredibly common, this.
How common are we talking?
Well, the figures show it's behind nearly half. Think about that. 46% of all green slip insurance claims after accidents.
Wow, 46%.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Really highlights how often these soft tissue things happen.
It does. Significant impact. Okay, so symptoms then. What might someone actually feel?
Well, the sources list quite a spectrum. Obviously, there's pain.
Sure, neck pain is the classic one.
Right, but it could be head, neck, back, shoulders, even down the arms.
And stiffness, too.
Yeah, stiffness, definitely. Also things like pins and needles, numbness, dizziness.
Tinnitus, that ringing in the ears.
That's on the list, too. Headaches, some memory fuzziness, maybe altered hearing, jaw pain.
Even trouble swallowing sometimes. It's quite varied.
It really is. You probably wouldn't get everything on that list, though.
No, it's very individual. So how do doctors figure it out? Diagnosis.
Usually starts with a visit, right? GP or physio.
Yeah, that's the first step. They'll talk to you, ask about the crash, your symptoms.
Might use some questionnaires.
They might, yeah, to get a sense of the impact that's having.
And interestingly, the info suggests scans or x-rays aren't usually needed straight away.
Not for most cases, no. Unless they suspect something more serious, like a fracture or instability.
Okay, that's good to know. And they use a grading system.
They do. Grade 0 to 4. It helps sort of classify the severity.
So like grade 1 is maybe just pain and stiffness, but no physical signs the doctor can find.
Exactly. Whereas grade 3, you'd have the pain and neurological signs.
Like changes in reflexes.
Precisely. Changes in reflexes, maybe muscle weakness, or altered sensation. 2 and 4 just mark increasing severity within that range.
Got it. Okay, so what about recovery? The prognosis.
Well, that's where it gets quite interesting. It varies hugely.
Some people get better quickly.
Some do relatively fast. Others have issues that linger for, well, quite a while.
And it's not just about the crash itself.
Surprisingly, no. The research really points to other factors being influential.
Like what?
Things like social stress, financial worries, even your own perception of how bad the crash was.
Really? Your expectation of recovery matters.
It seems to, yeah. Your initial beliefs can play a pretty big role.
That's fascinating. Okay, so let's get practical. What actually helps? What should people do?
The advice is pretty clear, actually. First off, reassurance is key.
Just knowing that having a range of symptoms is normal?
Exactly. That can reduce anxiety. And the big one, stay active.
Right. Don't just immobilize your neck.
No, that instinct to protect it by not moving, it actually seems to slow things down. Activity is crucial.
So, gentle movement? Maybe some simple pain relief to help with that.
Yeah, like paracetamol, just to make moving a bit easier.
And specific exercises.
Range of motion exercises, yes. The kind your GP or physio might show you. They're definitely beneficial.
Okay, now for the flip side, what doesn't work? Because there's a lot of stuff offered out there.
Oh, yes. The list of ineffective treatments is extensive.
Give us some examples.
Okay, so things like traction, Pilates, Feldenkrais, Alexander technique.
Wow, some popular ones in there. Massage.
Massage is on that list, too, according to these sources. Also homeopathy, cervical pillows, magnetic necklaces.
Magnetic necklaces. Okay, what else?
Spray and stretch techniques, heat, ice.
Heat and ice. Really, they seem so standard.
Standard, maybe, but the evidence for effectiveness in WOD specifically seems lacking here. Also, 10NS machines.
Those electrical stimulation things.
Yep. Ultrasound, laser, shortwave diathermy. None seem to have strong evidence behind them for this.
That's a lot of commonly used stuff. But are there things that are actually bad for recovery?
Yeah.
Detrimental.
Yes, and that's really important. Decreasing your activity levels, we already mentioned that.
Right, resting too much.
Wearing a collar for a long time is generally advised against now.
Okay, no collars unless specifically told otherwise for a short period.
Exactly. Also, muscle relaxants, certain injections, and electromagnetic treatments fall into the potentially detrimental category.
So, best to avoid those or be very cautious.
Definitely discuss those thoroughly with your doctor.
Okay, so summing up. Whiplash, super common after accidents, lots of possible symptoms.
Assessment is usually clinical, scans aren't routine.
Recovery varies, but the absolute key message is keep moving, stay active.
Right. Simple pain relief helps, specific exercises help.
And be wary of a lot of other treatments that might be offered because the evidence isn't there.
Or they could even make things worse, like collars or too much rest.
It's quite a clear picture when you boil it down.
It is, and it leads to a really interesting final thought, doesn't it?
Go on.
Well, if our own beliefs and expectations about recovery are so important, how much could focusing on a more positive outlook right from the start, even if the accident felt bad, how much could that actually change the healing process?
The power of the mind-body connection in recovery. Something to definitely think about.